Welcome back to the show, everybody. WWE Extreme Rules 2018. Yo, it's about that time, man. We are on the road to SummerSlam because what you have witnessed by watching this pay-per-view or watching me tell you what happened and what's going to be happening on Raw and SmackDown for the next fifth weeks, five weeks in a row is going to be a build to this pay-per-view. This was the start of that. When it's like the thing is that as a professional wrestling fan who understand that this is nothing but the start of a build to what's ultimately going to be, is that you kind of understand and really think about the past events that led up to this point and understand that this was nothing but a build to SummerSlam anyway. And a lot of our matches represent things that either we are trying to build to or little things we need to kind of correct, and that's important in one match, and some other things of just trying to move forward and things like that, because after SummerSlam it's going to be another who they finna drop randomly from NXT, maybe a little swaps here and there maybe, and then we're going to go on until we get to the real road to WrestleMania, which starts of course with the Royal Rumble. But hey, enough talking for me, man. We got a pay-per-view to talk about. Let me get straight up. Let me get good, cause we got to do this. Cause this was a pay-per-view. Andrade Almas, that's a thing. You know, it was a thing. You know, when you were NXT, when you mattered. Now you're facing Sin Cara on the kickoff show. It matters a lot less. I'm like I've been watching the build on SmackDown. I am not interested in any way. When they push the boy Andrade, you know what I'm saying, to put in some work, get at me. Until then, he can continue to face whatever version of Sin Cara this is, and whatever the hell it will be is whatever the hell it will be, and until then, I still won't give a shit. That Sanity beat the New Day on the kickoff show, but that table match was hot. I have seen better table matches because there is a table match. We're not gonna get. Let's put it this way. I'm gonna ignore that. It's good. It's good to see that Sanity putting in this work. You know what I'm saying? Like, if what they are trying to ultimately build, because honestly, I can already see the build. Given the way that this pay per view went, it's gonna be a build between Sanity and the Bludgeon Brothers. That's just what it is. So, spoiler alert for later. Team Hell no, they lose. They lose, but we'll talk about why they lost. But just know that's where the build is going. Like, New Day did a good job of getting over Sanity. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the point. Like, New Day ain't finna be champions anytime soon. All they want to do is eat pancakes. Not that there's nothing wrong with Mr. Up, Down, Down, Mr. 24/7 and Big Wool eating pancakes if they love what they doing, but y'all not finna be in the title picture anytime soon. So, of course, use the New Day to get over Sanity. And then if Sanity want to sit up here and they want to do free bird rules if they win the championships at SummerSlam, which I think is where this build is going, then you do that. So it is what it is with that. But great match overall. I appreciated it as a match. The B Team are your new Raw Tag Team Champions. And I totally saw this coming. Because, see, the thing is that you can kind of tell this is where they were going with that. Especially ever since, you know, all they talk about is ever since the Miz has left SmackDown, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel have done nothing but win, no matter what. And Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy didn't really do much. It was a great tag team. I don't know how long they're going to be a tag team as I scratch my mustache. But I don't know what the B team going to do, because when I sit up here and think about this, is that the state of the tag team division on Monday Night Raw is, let me give you a gesture. Because, see, there are things that I want, but they not going to do what I want. So I might not even waste my time saying it's a revival. But it is what it is. Decent match overall, you know what I'm saying? Entertained enough for me to sit through and watch it, but it's just like, well, you kind of saw this coming, so you really have to wonder that given the Raw Tag Team division, what are they going to do? We don't know. It is what it is, and that's unimportant, and it doesn't really matter much until they actually do something. Oh, during a commercial break, and this is important because I wanted to bring this up because I put this in my notes, Kurt Angle issued an ultimatum to that boy Brock Lesnar and the mouth of Pittsburgh, the real mouth, down there at the ECW arena. That boy Paul Heyman, who is the best talker in the business in general, period, of they finally talked about UFC, Brock Lesnar this, blah, 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 that, strip him of the title, do this and do that. Thing is, Brock gonna drop the title. But given a result of the match later on and a 5-week build to this could get interesting. This could get really interesting. So stay tuned for whether Brock actually showing up to fucking work is going to actually get interesting. Finn Balor beat the Constable. I am still trying to understand this move for Baron Corbin to be the Constable of Monday Night Raw. I'll just do this because I watch it. I enjoyed Baron Corbin when he was walking around with his hair just DDTing fools, but they had a chance to pull multiple gunshots on that boy Baron Corbin and did nothing. So it's just kind of like I just sit here and just do this. I think from now on when I review wrestling pay-per-views, I'm just going to do this a lot because it's what I'm thinking in my head and I'm trying not to do this. But when it comes to thinking about how Finn Balor beat Baron Corbin in a match and it means nothing, all I can do is this because, something, Brock Lesnar, blah, blah, blah. We won't get into it because it doesn't really matter as much as you think it does. In the meanwhile, Team Hell No got their ass whooped backstage, and we talked about that earlier. They will ultimately lose that match against them boys, the Bludgeon Brothers, because they're trying to set up this sanity thing. But, they got their ass beat, but, we'll talk more about that later. Carmella's still the SmackDown Women's Champion. We're building to SummerSlam. Of course this was going to happen. I'm going to say this, just to put it out there. James Ellsworth has been hella entertaining in this run with Carmella. The last time it was cool and it got a little weird when he helped her win Money in the Bank, but it's done so much for Carmella. Like in general period, just having James Ellsworth around just to sit up here and do gimmick matches where you sitting up here and letting Asuka repeatedly kick you in the chest. And yes, I would love Asuka to put her hips in my face, regardless of such. James Ellsworth been killing it, and all I can do is get a man props. He killing it though. Like if that's how you sitting up here getting paid, get your paper, fam. But I'm just like, yo, the match was okay. The finish was stupid. James Ellsworth being in a shark cage was entertaining. Like how is somebody else not in the match being in a shark cage more entertaining than the match itself? Think about that. Like for real, sit up here and legitimately fucking think about that. In my match of the night, my boy Shinsuke is your United States champion. Do you want to know how he won the championship? By hitting a man in the fucking... All I can do is applaud. Hit Jeff Hardy in the balls, start the match, hit him with a Kinshasa, champion. But truth is, Jeff Hardy's injured, so they needed to get him out. Oh, but we're not done. Randy Orton, after the match is over, walks out of there like, yo, I'm thinking he gonna RKO him. No. Stomps him in the nuts. Just in the balls. And I'm just sitting up here like, okay. Randy Orton with his heel turn. Last time I saw Randy Orton, a kid RKO'd him. So I'm just kind of like, well, this is a step up from getting RKO'd by a child. So, wait a minute. We're trying. It is what it is. But that's what happened. And, my thing is, it's kind of weird is that the only question I had when this happened is, why didn't he do that to AJ in their feud? He would be the champion like 30 times over. If you'd have just hit him in the balls, AJ would have started the match, hit him with a Kinshasa. But I think this might have just been the plan all along for Shinsuke to win the U.S. Championship so they can get Jeff Hardy on TV so he can heal from being stomped in the balls by grown men. So it is what it is with that. Oh, Braun Strowman killed a man. That man won the match, but that man is probably dead. Dead, as in, it's a wrap. Done. Like, my thing is, with Kevin Owens and first of all, I appreciated that match for the absurdity. It's like, for like 5 seconds, KO got some offense, and then they went back and forth, and then there was handcuffs involved, then there was a DX sucket, and then a man got thrown off the top of a steel cage. I love it. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. See, here's the thing though about this match. You got 50 Bentleys in the West Indies. It doesn't matter because it doesn't. Braun Strowman is your monster in the bank. See, I don't know when they're going to pull the trigger on the boy Braun to win the Universal Championship. But you have to sit up here and honestly think. You got SummerSlam, where Brock Lesnar, as of right this moment, whether he actually going to show up to the damn event or actually compete in it, who knows? But you got that. You got any time. Because it's like, here's the honest thing I thought about. How do you write Braun Strowman failing to cash in Money in the Bank? I'm just think about that for half a second. How could you book Braun Strowman losing Money in the Bank and make it believable and not make the fans right? Because here's the thing. Braun Strowman, clearly the fuck over. Clearly the fuck over. In general, just clearly as a wrestler, the fuck over. Just over. Get these motherfucking hands. Dude's over. So, you know he gonna be champion. But it's like you sit up here and think about like other people who you thought would have been able to be champion by winning Money in the Bank and being booked to lose it. This is just one of those situations. I can't see it. But then, you then have to wonder, is that you have to make Braun Strowman look strong. You gotta make him. Because that's why Kevin Owens won a match where he was thrown off the top of a steel cage. At the end of the day, Kevin Owens being booked to win this match doesn't matter much, because you could try to write something saying that, well, oh, you killed me, dude, but I'm back up because it's professional wrestling. But let me get the Money in the Bank contract and challenge you at SummerSlam for it. No, totally not. That's just where things are right now. So my thing is like, that was my thought process as soon as I saw Kevin Owens being thrown like a human lawn dart. Is this doesn't matter. It's unimportant, but you need to give Braun Strowman something to do because Brock Lesnar doesn't feel like showing up to fucking work. So this is going to be an interesting build for the next 5 weeks, with maybe Brock Lesnar comes back at some point. Maybe Braun Strowman comes out while Braun Heyman is talking shit, cracks him across the head, Monster in the Bank is champion, and then you've really got something interesting for SummerSlam. See, that would solve the problem of getting Brock ass off TV, back over there in the UFC, Braun Strowman as the champion, and then you do whatever it is you're going to do by booking the shit, because what else can you really legitimately do at this point? This is the point where the Bludgeon Brothers beat Team Hell No, and we've been talking about this the whole time, because from my understanding of looking where the booking is going, Bludgeon Brothers, Sanity, SummerSlam. That's what it's looking like. The rest of the SmackDown Tag Team division, like, I don't know. Like, absentee. I'm like, my boys, the Usos. I love them to death. Day one-ish, all that. Been set up her and swept to the side, outside of this tag team, so they can sit up her and push the Bludgeon Brothers. Because the only people taking them out is going to be some 2-on-3 with them Sanity boys anyway, because it's the only possible way to make the Bludgeon Brothers still look strong as a tag team, but put the titles on Sanity, if that's what they decide to do. Because ain't nobody else in the tag team division messing with the Bludgeon Brothers. All they do is just walk out and just whoop fools for no reason. They just come outside and I'm just like, hey, whatever. The other side of this is this whole bill for Daniel Bryan. We know what we waiting to see. Daniel Bryan and The Miz. So you kinda, it's like I came in this kinda knowing the Bludgeon Brothers was gonna win anyway. I'd have been hella surprised if T Hell No would have won, and that's something they would have pushed Miz and Daniel Bryan back later and then make that a WrestleMania joint. But they didn't, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Team Hell No, when you know ultimately that if it is going to be booked this way because they lost and Sanity going to be in the picture, then it's going to be The Miz versus Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam, because that's the only thing that legitimately makes sense booking wise. Just putting it out there. In the surprise of the night, Bobby Lashley beat Roman Reigns. I never thought I would watch a Roman Reigns match and be oh shit when he lost. That's how legitimately dumb they book Roman. Like, he loses against Bobby Lashley. I'm like, oh shit, really? Like, we got them? And I'm just kind of like, damn, word. Match was decent. You know what I'm saying? For a match with Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley, and then in the same time, that finish was kind of like, yeah, they did stuff. People got suplexed in the German announce table. Oh, by the way, before I forget, the German announce table is the MVP. Like, how many people got suplexed into a German announce table this evening? The answer, a whole bunch of motherfuckers. Just putting it out there. Here's the other thing, as I sit up and straighten out real quick. With Bobby Lashley beating Roman Reigns, you got a couple of ways you can go with this booking wise. Legitimately, period. At this juncture, you have an absentee champion who this was all about until it was decided it's not about that anymore, but it's going to be about that now when Raw come on later tonight. So you gotta sit up here and try to figure out that maybe you got Bobby Lashley in the mix. Roman Reigns, he stay up there in the main event. You got the Monster in the Bank. You have an absentee champion, and you got other people who were supposed to be in title contention before Brock Lesnar just say, "Fuck it, I'm not wrestling tonight because I'm Brock Lesnar, and I'm going to go home and milk my cows and fuck my wife because that's what I do." And it's just like, well, okay. So it's going to be interesting to see where this build leads both Bobby Lashley, Roman Reigns, and even Braun Strowman just hanging out in the background, terrorizing and continue to murder Kevin Owens on a daily basis, because that's just what the fuck you do. Because, hey, whatever the hell. My baby Nia lost. You already knew this. Ronda Rousey will be champion at SummerSlam. See, I'm like, the match, yay. Extreme Rules matches with women in it. Great. And I'm not sitting up here saying it like that. This shouldn't even have been the match. And I'll tell you exactly why. For the thing we talked about at the top. This is built for SummerSlam. They just had to get Nia Jax out the way so that you can make room for Ronda Rousey. What this build means for all the women involved in this little hoopla, including two women we won't even talk about, because either something's going to happen with Bayley and Sasha, which probably will culminate in a tag team division for women, or this has just been boring garbage we've been watching for weeks because no one fucking gives a shit. See, I'm going to talk about this because I can for 2 seconds. I will. I love me some Sasha. I've always appreciated Bayley as a talent. They have had years to do something with Sasha and Bayley in a way that's like this. You should have struck a couple of years ago when I'm not saying that the River Revolution ain't the thing, but when it was in real high gear and it mattered, main event and pay-per-views, this is a feud you should have got over and done with. Now that you're doing it, you're bringing back Dr. Shelby and all this shit, and it's just like boring as fuck. And I'm not saying that that's Sasha or Bayley fault. That's just the way that shit is booked. That's just what it is. That's just how that shit is booked. It's like I'm uninterested as a fan. It's like as much as I wanted to see this and saw this in NXT, and I want to see it now, and the way y'all taking advantage of it, y'all ain't really taking advantage of it. So it is what the fuck it is. Ronda Rousey, Alexa Bliss, SummerSlam. That's all that matters right now. What the rest of the Raw Women's division gonna do? Hey, who knows? We got 5 weeks to figure it out. So hopefully between now and then, the booking team figures it the hell out, because it is what the fuck it is. AJ beat Rusev in an excellent match. I thought for a second that my thought process about how booking works in wrestling was going to be shot down, that Rusev was going to be the champion. It was going to be that Rusev day. It wasn't. It was a great match to watch. Still, AJ Styles is one hell of a champion. It's gonna be interesting that when it's time for AJ to drop the title, who he drops it to. It was like my thing was is that I don't know. Is that you had AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan early, so you can't really run back to that. It's like you got a decent pool of people to sit up here to push into that number and to push into that main event and number one contender spot. It was good to see Rusev make it because that man ain't been the same since that No Limit Soldier tank. John Cena ruined Rusev. I will say that to the death of me. There are things in life that have been ruined by other people. One of those things is John Cena burying fucking Rusev at WrestleMania. He has come back strong with Rusev Day, but you'll never forget when it was womp 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 day and you came out in a No Limit Soldier tank and then you got jobbed out and lost the U.S. Championship. I still cry about it very randomly, and by randomly I mean not the fuck at all, but it's still to be said. Great match from both AJ and Rusev, but I just want to see like what's really good, like with the build for what AJ, what they got for him all coming to SummerSlam, because you know Paige gonna come out and do what Paige do, and that's not make a sex tape, but they're gonna have something, so they got to figure out AJ a number one contender, because I don't know if they gonna throw Rusev right back at him. I don't know if Shinsuke finna become a dual champion. I highly doubt that. Randy Orton stumping people in the ball. Samoa Joe's in the back some damn where. Things can happen. Anything. Our surprise main event of the evening. Dolph Ziggler versus that boy Seth Rollins. Them boys put on the show. I can't even lie. It was just 30 minutes of just nonstop madness. And then even given what happened to the match, and we got to the end 4-4, Kurt Angle walk out. Sudden death! Like everybody has 300% now. The first person to touch somebody will be blasted off and a winner declared. The finishes to wrestling matches. That finish was so fucking dumb. Like, it makes sense from Dolph Ziggler's a heel and, Drew McIntyre, the former chosen one, is just there. It makes sense as a finish, but it's not what I want to see as a finish given a match between two great wrestlers. That should have just been booked a little differently. I understand why it was booked that differently, because my thing is they about to put Seth up and put him back in the main event picture. So they got to find a way to get him in there, and unfortunately he has to lose to Dolph Ziggler to do that. It is what it is. So I understand, I get it, but after having that match, it's like the thing is that even though it was a great match, it had some weird pacing. Even I can admit, it was like a lot of quick falls, then it was like lulls, and then quick falls again, and then it's like let's dance for like 15 minutes or some shit, and then that crazy ass finish, which I thought was dumb and still think it's dumb as fuck, because you could have booked that finish better, but at the same time, it was booked correctly for the wrestler who won. But hey, agree to disagree. Tomato. It is what it is. That's a pay-per-view. These next 5 weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-time week build up to SummerSlam to see what the hell we gonna do. They've got a lot of time to sit up here to correct any mistakes, to do something about Brock being the absentee champion, to find out who the hell AJ gonna face next, because you already know Asuka gonna win the title with SummerSlam. I didn't mention it earlier when I talked about them, but that was also a build for that, unless they really finna do something with Carmella. So it's going to be interesting to really see like how these things play out, and when we get to SummerSlam, it's just gonna be what it is that it's gonna be. With all of that being said, y'all, we've got more show for you. So you stay tuned right here to this channel here, Team GRF TV, Internet Television. We control, you know what it is, and we bringing you more heat. So you stay right there, and we'll be right back after these commercial messages. Yup, Still the best in the business, man. Thought you knew. We'll be right back after these commercial messages.